What's up, guys? Brian Ellwood here. I'm making this video for all of you out there who are becoming entrepreneurs, you're becoming investors, and you are being told that you got to hustle your ass off. You got to grind, work 80 hours a week, work weekends and all this stuff. I want to address whether or not that's true and what I believe around working hard and work ethic and what you should really do. What's the fastest path to get to what you really want? Okay. So when we first started out as entrepreneurs, my former business partner and I did the grind. I mean, we worked 60 hours a week and worked on weekends and basically like wake up in the morning, drink coffee, start looking at emails and maybe take a lunch break and then work, and then take a dinner break and work till 10 p.m., 6 or 7 days a week, grinding, right? And that worked up to a certain point, but then we both started to get really burned out and frustrated, and we lost motivation and passion for our business. We lost the connection as to what it was all for, We just kind of felt like a hamster getting on a wheel every day and just running until the day was over. And it wasn't until we worked with a lot of business coaches, personal development coaches, that we got a lot more clarity on what we were really trying to accomplish with our businesses and, more importantly, in our lives, because businesses fuel lifestyle when done correctly. And that's when things changed. And we were able to change the businesses, systemize, delegate, remove ourselves, focus the activities of the business around the goals that were going to lead to us living the desired lifestyle, etc. All right. And so I want to break down what I believe about this and what I think the main takeaways are for, like, what do you need to do to be successful when you wake up every morning? What do you exactly need to do? First of all, one of the keys to this whole thing is knowing that the lifestyle that you are going after, okay? Like, you're waking up and you're doing some investing stuff and you're doing some entrepreneur stuff, and maybe you have a job and, you don't like any of it, but you're assuming that when you get all this money, you're going to feel better, right? And you're going to have freedom. Boom, just freedom's going to come. The irony, guys, is that it doesn't work that way. Like, the freedom doesn't just happen when the money hits. I know a lot of people who are way richer than I might ever be, but they have less freedom than me because they don't give it to themselves. They don't allow themselves to claim what they've already created. There's lots of billionaires that work way harder than you or I because they're so attached to what they've created. And they maybe they like it, but I think a lot of them actually don't. There's a lot of very wealthy people that are out there on antidepressants and they can't sleep at night. They're just tossing and turning in bed thinking about all their millions of dollars and whether or not they're going to lose it, right? And what do they got to do to keep it and get more? It's kind of stupid, but that's the reality of how things are. And you can end up that way very easily if you're not super clear on what you want from the very beginning. So I had Kent Clothier, who's a really well-known guy in the real estate investing and education space, as my personal coach. I was really fortunate to have him early on, and he taught me about this concept called living your perfect day. And so I wrote down, okay, like, what would be the perfect day for me? I wake up, I do what all day? And then what day would I want to essentially like live over and over again every day? Obviously, you're going to go on vacations, you're going to have variety, but what's like generally an ideal day? So I broke it down. I would, go on a long walk. I would exercise. I would work on my business in an area of my passion for, only 4 hours a day. I would spend time with friends, family, wife, I'd travel. I'd go out in nature. I'd, do all, and I was like, wow, that's where I'm trying to head with all this stuff. And what was crazy for me was that, my perfect day didn't really involve having millions and millions of dollars, but it just involved freedom of schedule, right? So where I didn't have to put in massive amounts of hours for money. And then the hours that I was putting in, I was doing things I enjoyed, and that was producing money. And I also had passive income as well, right? And so once we got clear on that, everything changed. We realized that the hustle was, first of all, it was not the day-to-day lifestyle we wanted to be living. It was like we were doing something we hated and delaying our gratification to this one day in the future. And we realized we could stop that BS and start doing some of the stuff now. We could start exercising. We could start going on a long walk every day, start having lunch or dinner with friends, a few days a week and put those things in place and make work fit around those. So that was a huge epiphany. And I really believe that the need to hustle and grind, right? And I see people post about this on Facebook all the time, is really just a symptom of a larger issue. Okay. So it's not that you're wrong or stupid for wanting to work hard. It's actually pretty admirable that anyone would, grind and work as hard as some people do. Okay. I have respect for that. But what I see a lot of people doing is just not slowing down and taking enough time to get clarity on what they really want for their life and what their end game is, not in terms of just making money, but lifestyle for you, right? What do you really want? You wake up, what do you want your day-to-day life to look like? Don't just say, I want to be a lawyer one day. People do that. And they don't think about, lawyers live in courtrooms and they deal with paperwork and, their day-to-day life is kind of shitty, right? You have to consider the day-to-day lifestyle of where you're headed and make sure that matches up. So that's the first thing. The people who are just hustling and grinding are basically skipping that step. They're thinking lazily, actually. Lazy thinking. Okay. They might be a really hard worker, but a lazy thinker. Okay. It's an important distinction. You can go and sit there and dig a hole all day, and be a hard worker, but it takes, it takes a higher level of thinking to think, what do I really want to be doing? What am I going to commit to that's better than digging holes all day? Right. So you've got to, actually commit to something. The people who are doing this are basically just I want to make some money, make money online or something like that. And then they go into it and they're just posting on, digital marketing Facebook groups that I'm in, what's the best way to make money online? Right. Just very shallow surface level question. I'll do anything as long as it works, right? I don't care what I have to do. I don't care if it's something I'd enjoy or if I could be passionate about it or if the actual process is something I'm going to like. Just tell me what makes money, right? And that's that's a symptom when you see someone doing that. They don't know what they want, okay? They don't really know what they want. They probably don't believe that everything's possible for them. I did this many times. I looked into a lot of different ways to make money, as an entrepreneur. When I got started, I was just super shiny object syndrome. I can tell you guys, you're going to get down the path of doing a lot of different things. And then you're going to say, crap, I really should have thought about what I really wanted and worked backwards from there. Okay. So that's one of the biggest things, is that this grind hustle thing is generally a symptom of a larger issue where you just don't have clarity on exactly where you're trying to head with your life. Okay. I promise you, you may not believe it now, but you can craft a lifestyle of your dreams and you deserve to do that. Okay. I don't care if you don't have any money and you've failed at things in the past or whatever. There's plenty of people who are way dumber than you, who have had less resources than you, that got real clear on where they were headed, like their North Star or the address they put in their GPS, whatever you want to call it. And then they just persistently headed to that place. And they always ask questions like, what do I need to do to take another step in the direction towards that lifestyle each day? That's how you get to where you're trying to go. The reason I'm able to sit here and hang out with you guys and have passive income paying my bills and do an education business like this was always a dream for me, guys. I wrote this down, and every day I woke up and I was like, all right, I want to work, 4 to 6 hours a day doing something I love, which is teaching. I want the bills paid by passive income. I want to live somewhere with mountains, I want to, be able to walk the dog and spend time with friends and family every day. Now I have that. And I'm not trying to say my life's all perfect. The funny part is like, as soon as you get to like that dream, you see the next one and you're like, damn it. Now I want, a cooler house and, more money from this business, and I want to grow the rentals even more, right? It's a never-ending thing. But that's the question I asked every day that allowed me to wake up and live the lifestyle that I used to just dream about or envision, right? So that's the key to this whole thing. It's not about just getting up and putting your head down and grinding on these little to-do type tasks. You got to make sure first those to-do tasks are clearly linked with you getting exactly where you want to go in your lifestyle, okay? Another reason why hustling is bad is that it simply doesn't work in terms of the way that the physiology of your brain and your body work. Like you need to rejuvenate. If you hustle, if you grind all the time, you're always on, you're basically going to get burned out, guys. You're basically going to, just overload, and then you're going to have these days where you're just like, and you can't do anything. Your brain needs a break. And that's just going to happen because you're redlining constantly all the time. Okay. Brendan Burchard wrote a great book called High Performance Habits that I'm reading right now. And he talks about how all these studies have been done, and they've shown that people who take regular breaks throughout the day, 10 minutes every hour, give or take, for me, I do like 10 minutes every 45 minutes, right? So I like more breaks because I'm a wild man. I'm easily distractible, and, I like to have fun. And so it's hard for me to sit still for a long time. Okay. I was diagnosed with ADD and ADHD and given all the pills for that when I was in grade school. And so I take more frequent breaks instead of taking pills, and that works, right? But the point I was trying to make is that the studies shown that people who take breaks actually produce more. They actually can work longer hours and be more effective later into the day, and then they end their day feeling energetic. Managing energy is a huge, huge thing. I'll make a separate video on that. But you've got to be really cognizant of how do you feel. And as soon as you feel that energy kind of dropping, you just turn away, get up, go meditate, walk around. Don't get on your phone. That doesn't help you rejuvenate. But you need to do that for like 5 to 10 minutes every hour. Absolutely. And then, you just basically, like, guys, the 40-hour work week whole thing is a myth, okay? It's been proven that doesn't work. It's been proven that, almost like 50% of the time that people are at work, they're just screwing around. I know this because I used to have a cubicle job for 4 years. I screwed around probably 80% of the time. I have buddies that still have corporate jobs that, definitely don't work all the time, probably 50% or so of the time. And that's just the way it is. Richard Branson is actually making a big push to do away with the 40-hour work week. He believes that 4 days a week is way more effective. And studies have proven that. And I believe it too. I probably work now about, maybe call it 30 hours a week, right? So a little less than like 4 days at a traditional job where they're working 8 hours. And that's including an hour for lunch and an hour to walk the dog and, 10 minutes on every hour. So there's like a couple hours of breaks within my 6-hour workday. So it's really like only 4 hours of actual work. The funny part is I get more done than a lot of people do because I know where I'm going and what I'm trying to do. I'm super clear on my outcome. And so when I do sit down to work for those 4 hours of focused time, I've narrowed it down to a handful of very focused, impactful actions that move me towards that goal. So like with the real estate investing business, it's all about finding deals, making offers, right? That's how you get deals in real estate. So really when I sit down to work on my rentals, if I'm not doing something with an existing property I own, it's just making offers, right? So making offers. And then when it comes to the education business, there's really only two types of activities that I'm doing. I'm either coaching people that I've already kind of brought into my world, clients of mine, whether it's group coaching, one-on-one, whatever, or I'm creating clients, new people, leads, like I'm doing something like this video or a podcast, or, I'm engaging on other Facebook groups or whatever, coaching clients or creating clients or making offers on deals, right? So I've got it like stripped away to just a few tasks that are the most highly leverageable tasks that are going to get me to my end goal. Okay. So that's super, super important, guys. So the main takeaways from this video are the main cause of grinding and hustling and feeling like I always got to be doing something is you just don't know what you want and where you're trying to go. So spend time slowing down, getting clarity. A lot of the times I just want to scream at a lot of people like, dude, have you gone to the coffee shop with a pad of paper and a pen and left your phone in the car and just sat there journaling anytime recently? And they're like, no, I've never done that. I'm too busy. I'm like, well, that's kind of the reason why. You've got to take some time away. I think every week or every 2 weeks, at least every month, you should just sit down in a real quiet place. If the weather's good, go outside, sit down with a piece of paper, no screens, no distractions, no other people, right? And just think about what you really want. Think about what's going on. Think about, how you could do things differently or better. A lot of times, a lot of the resources and answers to your supposed problems are right under your nose, or they're right in front of you, but you just don't take enough time to slow down and see them. That's always been a big issue for me that I've had to learn over the years. Everything that I kind of want is already here. Sometimes I'm moving too fast to even see it. So do that. And then, take breaks. Don't work, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Ask yourself how you can get it done in 30, right? This is, when I planned out my schedule for 2019, that's what I gave myself, a budget of maybe 25 to 30 hours a week. And I was like, crap. Well, I'm going to have to record all the podcasts in one day. I'm going to have to write all the emails for the month in one day. I'm going to have to batch my coaching calls to be all on Tuesdays, right? I had to get really smart and efficient with it because I wouldn't go above the budgeted amount of hours. And guess what? I did it. After 3 or 4 revisions, I got it down to where I can do everything in like I said, 30 hours a week or less of focused work time. And that includes time for breaks. Okay. So you guys can do that too. And that is the secret to having a day where you love what you do, you're productive, right? Because being productive is very gratifying. But how many times have you worked the whole day and then you get to the end, you're like, damn, I'm tired. I worked my ass off. I don't feel like I got anything done. That is, again, a symptom of not knowing what are the high leverage activities that you can do to make a difference and really move the needle in your business every day. So I hope this helps, guys. Please comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are in this video. Let me know if this has ever happened to you and what you've done to fix it. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.